Hi and welcome to Makeup440plus. I am so thrilled to be doing this video, not only because it's a prom video and I understand that it's coming up to prom in the Northern Hemisphere, but I am getting to do a collab tutorial with my wonderful friend Michelle, who's just started out on YouTube, and she has been an inspiration and a support to me that basically would be very difficult to put into words. So what we're doing is we're doing a drugstore low-end, not low look but low-end pricing prom look that's affordable. So she's doing hers and I'm doing mine, and you'll get to see a how each of us do it as per normal collab tutorials go. So basically what we're doing is a fairly neutral look, basically, so that you can add a pop of colour, but if you want to go for something neutral that doesn't take away from the dress that you're wearing, for instance, so you can glam it up with the earrings and all that sort of thing. In saying that, basically whatever colours we use, you can add a pop of colour here and there, even just simply using eyeliner to make a difference. So I've already started a bit to save a little bit of time. So just to get that stuff out of the road first, I used my Colour Stay combination foundation, and I applied that using a Real Techniques. This one is the buffing brush, so used that. Then I also did under my eyes using this concealer, which is the e.l.f. highlighting conceal. So I just used the conceal end under my eyes, did a couple of dabs. It's just a doe foot applicator. And then I actually used this Real Techniques, use your fingers if you like, contour brush. I'm just showing you what I used, just to basically dab it and spread it under my eyes. And excuse my big bags, I am very tired at the moment and I have the flu, so also if my voice sounds weird you'll know why. I also use this e.l.f. high definition under eye setting powder as well, just to highlight underneath my eyes. And I also, I'm not doing that, otherwise I'll bend down and pop out of frame again. This is a Coastal Scents foundation that is a pressed powder. This one's number 8, and as you can see, if I can open it, I've well and truly hit pan on this. I use this all the time over my foundations because it just gives this beautiful glow. So basically just with the e.l.f. powder brush, I'm just going to buff that. I've already put a light touch on, but I'm basically just going to buff that all over my face to make sure that everything's set. So as I say, we've tried to keep this very much affordable for you guys, so using what I believe over there are drugstore, not expensive. So I've also done that with my brushes as much as I can also. So to start, I'm going to use a NYX Jumbo pencil as an eyeshadow base. This one is Sparkle Nude. Oh, I haven't got my glasses on, so please excuse me. And I am just going to put this from my brow bone all down to my lid line, and the same on the other eye. Now, if you have any specific requests for Michelle or I, please leave them in the comments box. I mean, I can't make you subscribe to her channel, but I would honestly recommend that you do, just because she's got some really interesting stuff on there. She's doing some great videos. She is absolutely just a beautiful looking girl to look at. She's got a fabulous personality, and she's got very different bone structure to me, and applies her makeup very differently to me, so it gives you a really great chance to have a look at a few different looks that people are doing, using different eye shapes and different bone structure and all that sort of thing. So I think it's fabulous. So we're going to be doing some more collab tutorials as well if you're interested in those, and if you have any suggestions for those, please leave them in the down bar as well. I'm actually going to be using a Wet n Wild palette. I thought I'd just try and use one palette. This has sort of got some burgundy and mauves in it, but it's still going to be a fairly neutral look. And this is the Lust 6 palette. So basically, now that I've got my that jumbo pencil down, I am going to be taking, and please tell me I got it out with all my other brushes, which I did not, so I am going to have to reach, sorry. I got everything out but the one brush I wanted. So I'm just using this brush, and my brushes just fell all over the floor. Awesome. I'm just using this little flat shader brush. So I'm going to go into, being that I want to keep this neutral, I'm going into this pink, this whitey shade here, not the pink one. So just taking this white shade, I'm going to take that on the inside of my tear duct and run that, as I always do, right up over and into my brow bone highlight. And because of the shimmer of the jumbo eye pencil, it's just going to give a nice light. And I am doing this at night time, so I'm hoping the light's alright. I ran out of time today. I'm not going to bore you to tears, but I've had a few specialist appointments and had to have drops put in my eyes today, and I haven't been able to see. So this is the first chance I've had, and if I don't do it now, I'm not going to get to it. So I am hoping that the lighting is going to turn out okay. So that on one side of the pencil. On the other side, I'm going to go in using that pink colour. It's just such a subtle pink, and it is not a shimmer shade. It is a flat shade, not a flat shade. It is a matte shade. So I'm just putting that all over the mobile part of my lid. And basically, as I say, if you're any colours you choose to wear, you can substitute these colours as long as you're using, your light colour, basically 4 or 5 colours, or even 3 colours. Your light colour, which you could use as a lid and highlight colour, then you want a crease colour, and then you want an outer defining corner colour. So basically you only need 3 shades, and as long as they're in that same group of colouring of what you're wearing, you can basically get away with anything. It just depends on what look you want. And I better hurry up because time's getting away, and being that I don't edit. So, done that. Now I'm going to take this little e.l.f. brush, and this is a e.l.f. Blending eye brush, and I am going to take it into this, first of all I'm going to take it into this very dark colour here, and I'm going to start working on my outer crease colour, just to get a bit of definition, because you know what I'm like, I have to have my dark smoky, and everybody's different. Some of you girls may or may not like the smoky look. Michelle's look is beautiful and natural, and she is just so gorgeous that she can put on a couple of eyeshadows and look like $1 million. Now if it just got shady, that's because my big cat Snickers, and I'm just going to stand up and get her, is trying to play with my light. So I don't know if you've ever met Snickers, but she's huge. This is my cat Snickers, so quite big compared to Suki. So she's about 8 or 9 kilos. I can't even hold her up to show you. You hop down. So sorry about that. Now, where was I? Michelle, yes, she has done a much more subtle eye look than me, because she has really just got the most beautiful eye shape, and she's a real talent. So I'm just going to go for a darker sort of look and go into that sort of smoky sort of look, just because that's the look I do, keeping it neutral all the same, but just going for something smoky. So just with my eyes open, I'm just pulling that colour just very ever so slightly, with nothing more than what's already on the brush above my lid. Then I'm taking this blending brush. This one is from Coastal Scents. I think it was about $2.95. And I'm just going to take a mixture of this grey colour here and this lighter burgundy colour down here. It doesn't look that much lighter, but it is. So just sort of equal parts of that, starting at the outside and just pulling that in through my crease using those rainbow motions that I love to do to make it a transition colour, just to warm that right up. And the reason I wanted to use a bit of the burgundy as well as the grey was because it will just look beautiful on anybody's eyes, basically. It's not too cool, it's not too warm, and if it was just grey it would look could look quite intense and quite dark. So by doing equal amounts of both, the burgundy doesn't stand out, but it still gives a bit of colour. I'm going to have to put that down because my aging eyelids aren't allowing me to do my rainbow motions as nicely as I'd like to through my crease. So just really blending that so that it's beautifully blended, there's no harsh lines anywhere. And I'm taking that right over to the corner of my eye. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to go back in with that highlight colour and just ensure that there is still blending it basically with that transition and blending colour to make sure there's no harsh lines or edges. And then just again with the lid colour, just to make sure that we haven't lost any of the intensity there. So very simple, just a couple of colours using that one palette, which I believe is fairly easy to get your hands on if you like these colours. So I am just going to do what I always do and intensify the outer edge of my eye and the lower lash line. So I'm actually just going to take this flat plum colour here on the inner part of my eye, and then take it right to the outside and doing my lovely eyeliner face. Just so attractive. Now again, one of the reasons I'm using this plummy colour is just to give it a bit of warmth and a bit of colour. I guess really if you were wearing a pinky purple dress you could use a pink or a purple. If you're wearing a blue dress you could use a blue. You know, this is where you could add those colours in that you're doing. And then I am taking the colour I used in the outer crease, that beautiful purpley black shimmery colour, and just running that on the my outer lash line, and I am making sure that it blends up, doing my stab into that outer corner because I just want to intensify that outer corner now that it's blended so that there's absolute definition there. And give it a bit of a wing without using any eyeliner, just using the eyeshadow and the brush itself to do that with. And this brush is actually the e.l.f. Precision, the e.l.f. Professional eyeliner brush, sorry. Would have helped if I'd said that earlier, wouldn't it? Just making sure that when your eyes have relaxed that that's nicely blended. So that is that. Now I want to do eyebrows, so I am just going in. If my cats would shoo away from the brushes that fell all over the floor, I'm sure they're going to have a good chomp at those. I'm using my Milani Brow Fix kit, and I'm just going in with a little brush in that and doing equal parts, really, just to make sure that there's no gaps in my eyebrows. My eyebrows are pretty good, so I very rarely have to worry, but just make sure that there's no gaps in there. And while I'm in there, I'm taking the little highlight brush and the little highlight shade and popping a tiny bit of that on my inner corner, and then right in the very arch of my brow. And then I'll just get my finger, my little finger, and just blend that so that it's not obvious. So, done that. Going to skip to lips. I would recommend something like this for a, you know, any sort of thing like that. You're going to be dancing and all that sort of thing, because you don't have to reapply it all the time. So this is Revlon's Just Bitten, and this is in Frenzy. So this is one of those markers that stain your lips, and they're great. I just love them. And it's like a Your Lips but better colour, if you know what I mean. And it just means that you're not having to reapply lipstick constantly if you can get a stain. So I quite like that because it's a fairly natural look. So now for the contouring, I am just going to go in with, now that was one thing I didn't get, just going to go in with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I'm going to use the e.l.f. This is the original one, and I'm just taking the tiniest bit of the contour colour, and just from the top of my ear to basically the edge of my eye, just contouring. So I'll leave it at that, and then I am going to take Bourgeois Pink, which is a NYX colour. I just love this colour. It's the most beautiful pink, but it's just a natural sort of colour. So I'm just taking that, and this I'm taking on my Real Techniques blush brush and adding a little bit of pink to my cheeks. I think pink is just beautiful. It's so fresh, and so adding that to my cheeks for a bit of colour. Giving Eye on Time, which is going over, and I'm sorry. Then taking this colour, which I'm not sure what the name of it, I know it's Glow something, it's just a e.l.f. blush that's in this very light, it's basically a white highlight colour, and I'm just using a brush just to give myself a hint of highlight. This is actually a Sigma brush because I cannot find for the life of me my old e.l.f. blush brush that I used to use to do this with, so I'm sorry I did cheat on that bit. But as you can see, that gives you a beautiful glow. Then finally, eyelashes. Oh, before I do that, if I can find it again. I had it and I lost it. No, I'll do my lashes, and if I can find it, there it is. e.l.f. gel. This is the e.l.f. 2-in-1 gel. I'm just going to take the darker side and just run that through my lashes so that my lashes stay in place for the night. And then one other thing before I put my mascara on is I'm using the e.l.f. Makeup Set and Spray, Mist and Spray I think it's called. So give it a good shake and leave that on. I find this really works. It makes the powder not look so powdery, etc, etc. So just now my mascara, I'm using the Maybelline Colossal, and as per usual, because I don't edit, you just see that I get mascara on my eyelids too. This is actually a new one, so it's really wet. I hate when they're really wet. But unfortunately you've got to wear them a bit to get them a bit dry. Now you can certainly curl your lashes if you want to. I missed that bit because I wanted to not make this video too long, which is tricky when you're including skin and eyes. Now I've made being that I'm using Maybelline Colossal Mascara, I've made a colossal mess of my eye shadow and under my eyes, so this is how easy it is to clean up. Nothing more than just a dry Q-tip. And then you go back in, and I'll have to get another one because I just dropped that one. And just go back in with your highlight and make sure that you remove the dark. Now I'll get another one for my eyelid, shall I? Which, boy, I did make a mess of. And just do the same thing, just gently pick up the bits of mascara that have ended up on your eyelid. If you're really worried about it, you can go in and blend again. But I think I've done a pretty good job of getting rid of it. Yep. I'll do a sneaky wet one, just to clean up that last bit under my eyes. And because the light's dark, it's probably making it look darker as well. What I do with my foundation brush, I'm just going to dab what's left of my foundation brush under my eyes. And then lighten it up with that brush. So there's my finished look. Sorry it was so rushed. I had to talk and do all at the same time because it's already 22 minutes, so I do apologise. So this is the eye look. I'll zoom in a little. So reasonably neutral and a bit of a dark smoky eye. Basically a really easy look after lip. It's not going to take a lot of work. If you've got a specific colour dress and you want a specific colour, please put it in the down bar. I'd be more than happy to do a tutorial. Please go and check out my wonderful friend Michelle. Her link will be below, and I would just love if you could subscribe to her and show her some of the love and, you know, support her the way you've supported me, because she is just wonderful. So yeah, hope you've all enjoyed, and I will talk to you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.